affect, but he's a weak man. And that's the man you should be afraid of. The people who you shouldn't be less afraid of are the, headstrong, loud, don't care what anybody thinks. Yeah, those guys will go off track, but they're probably not going to abet, genocide or blow up the world in a nuclear exchange because they may be obnoxious, but they know who they are. Weak people just become a host for evil, an open, empty building that evil occupies, possesses even. And that's exactly what's happening to Mike Johnson. It's like absolutely crazy what Mike Johnson is doing. But it's not because he's evil. It's because he's weak and therefore susceptible to evil.
Yeah.
I mean, how is that? I mean, it's hard. You realize that a lot of the things that we took for granted were actually voluntary. Like people just didn't do things because that's just wrong. That's not fair. You know what I mean? That's bad sportsmanship. Like there was a lot of self-restraint involved in running a functional society. You can't you can't just make an infinite number of laws and enforce them. That's impossible. You rely on people to just not do bad shit because I'm not the kind of person who does bad shit. Mm-hmm. And once the people in charge decide, well, I'm just going to do whatever I want, not a lot you can do about it. Who has more privacy, the average North Korean or the average American? Well, obviously the average North Korean because there's less technology. The U.S. government spies on its own population more than the North Korean government spies on its. That's just a fact. I'm not saying North Korea is preferable. I'm not moving there. I'm not carrying water for North Korea. What I'm doing is criticizing my government because I live here, because it was better, it can be better, it should be better, and it only will be when we demand it. And it's not some fucking esoteric, you have to be some crazy civil liberties lawyer or something. Every person should demand, just as a starting point, a baseline, that no, you're not allowed to spy